This is a must-watch and a life-changing opportunity. At least that's a video we're going to take a look at and we're going to dissect. These are some of the claims of the people involved in creating the content that it's life-changing and it's a must-watch. Let us judge that for ourselves. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here and welcome to another anti-MLM video. We're going to take a look at an opportunity today, a Sunday chit chat. Although if you watch it on upload day, it will be Friday, or maybe it is Sunday when you're watching it. This is a must watch. We chatted about why Arbonne, how it can give you more freedom and the life-changing opportunities that are available for you. I'm currently pushing for my qualification to promote to the 3rd out of 4 levels within Arbonne. From loving the products to sharing the products I love and seeing how it's changed my life and so many others, so proud and grateful. That is what we're going to react to, something that was posted to Instagram and was commented by very likely other Arbonne Huns with so good and incredible. Now, do we believe this will be so good and incredible? Is this really a must-watch? Is this truly life-changing? Or another, in my opinion, mediocre repetition of things we have seen again and again and again on social media, making a business opportunity look a lot better, a lot more personable than it actually is? Judge for yourself. We're going to take a look. To give you some more background information, the person hosting the call says that she wants to promote to the 3rd out of 4 ranks within Arbonne. You also don't promote, you rank up. There are no promotions in network marketing companies. Now, the company has a total of 5 ranks, but I guess the consultant rank is one they never really count because it's your entry level. But there are 5 ranks, and if she wants to promote to the 3rd out of 4, probably means that she is currently at the area manager's rank and that she wants to promote to the regional vice president's rank. The person she's speaking with is a national vice president. Although it is quite negligent, we're not even in that call yet, but it is quite negligent to just exclude the first rank, the consultant's rank, because most people are at that rank. Less than in 24, but still almost 92% of people in Arbonne are at that rank. So she wants to promote to one of the vice president's ranks, and her upline is at the highest rank. Typically, Huns get together to socialize on social media and allow other people to take a sneak peek into an opportunity from their perspective. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. I will play this on the side, I will comment as I typically do, and then we all together can decide if this is an incredible opportunity, if this is an absolute must-have, and if this sounds like a life-changing opportunity. So let's get started.
Hello everyone. Okay, we're going live. Carly is hopping on right away here. She is freaking amazing and it's going to be a really good chit chat today. So I hope you guys are ready. Where is she?
Hi. That was so funny. I was waiting, refreshing my page, and then I realized I didn't follow you. And I was like, oh shit.
That's awesome. I love that.
Okay. Do you want to kind of lead this? Do you want to ask me questions? Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay,
Do you want to do it as like a rundown? Have you given a rundown of what we're going to be talking about?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Oh, this is going well.
We have Carly on here, guys. Carly is freaking amazing. Introduce yourself, Carly.
Okay, yeah. So for anyone jumping on and listening, we're going to be chatting a little bit about Arbonne, and I know, Ashley, you want to ask me my questions about me and my story, and so I'm literally an open book. Ask me anything and I'll share about my journey and my story. But really, we're going to be talking about my journey of building a business, how I found success, and then also I want you to share about you because you've come in. And I feel like there's so many misconceptions that it's like, oh, well, it's only for moms or it's only for people who are 30, or like there's so many people make up stories. I feel like the biggest thing is people make up stories to like make it a reason why that person can have success and not you. And it's something that you do to kind of like keep yourself in your comfort zone of feeling like, oh, well, of course they can because of XYZ. And I feel like you coming in, doing this in a season where people might be like, oh, the economy, or like this is happening, or it's not a good time. all of it is BS. It's like you get to create my favorite thing is I heard someone say one time, they're like, the economy is what you create. Like you create your own economy, meaning it's not about what's happening in the world. You get to decide what happens based on what's happening within you. And you're such a perfect example because it's like you're on your way to region, which for anyone listening, that's the third of 4 levels of management in Arbonne, which is an amazing accomplishment. I feel like my entire life really changed when I went region, which was 7 years ago. And I just feel like it's so perfect because like you're 24, you're young, you just started a new business. I don't know what you do full time for work, but you,
X-ray and lab tech.
yeah, so you work at a normal, normal 9 to 5 job, and you're still building this business. And so the people who are like, oh, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or it's like, no, you just decide to build this business because you want to build this business.
No, not really. I mean, this is already so much nonsense. You don't create world economy because you tell yourself, no, it's a good time now to really launch my own business. I want to publish books, just physical books. And I want to open a store where people can physically buy that. Is that a business concept in 2026 that will work? No, because a lot of people don't read physical books anymore. I do. I like to have physical books still in my home, but a lot of things and a lot of publications go digital. The same is true for books. Lots of people also don't go physically into stores anymore to buy their books there. I have an established used bookstore where I live. They have a very dedicated audience, and then also people passing by, they're taking a look at what they offer. I think those are maybe exceptions, but it would be asinine to start a business venture in 26 like this. Economy is down. The world economy is not doing well. It doesn't matter in what market you want to sell. It is getting worse and worse, and it is getting more and more tricky if you want to be a salesperson. It's also not getting easier to sell MLM products. They are pricey for what they are. So financially speaking, lots of people do not even want to dive into that because why pay a whole lot of money for a regular vegan protein powder when you can get that pretty much 50% less from a reputable brand that is not connected to network marketing for a more reasonable price? Why wouldn't you want to do that? So that is nonsense. You don't create your own economy. You can only establish how you approach a topic. That's in your control. You don't control the world economy and how easy or how difficult it is to generate sales. Now, the other claims you have to be a mom or you have to be 30. Yeah, that is ridiculous, but that is very likely what the Arbonne Hans pitch to mothers, predominantly women, mothers who want to stay at home with their children or who want to have more time with their families. That is a target audience, and that is why those claims come up. I also totally understand why people who were in Arbonne might want to find a reason why this business opportunity that is allegedly so life-changing, why it didn't work out for them. If you're in a brainwashed system where your uplines tell you, no, you can do it, you just have to create your own reality, disregard facts, disregard the world economy, as we have pretty much heard here. It's great to join now and sell those products. And if you wish to, you can also rank up. It's really up to you and how you generate your vision and your view on this business model. When clearly most people in Arbonne, I mean, the income disclosure statement, I don't know if I have published the video already about Arbonne's 25 income disclosure statement, shows very clearly that most people in Arbonne are not financially successful. The person hosting this call is, as she said, at the area manager's rank with a median annual earnings of $9,200. This is the US income disclosure statement. The people speaking here are in Canada, so their income disclosure statement looks a little bit different. That is 3.4% of the people in the company. Only 1.6% of the people are at the president's rank and at the vice president's rank, and you can see that there is a significant pay increase. Recruit a bigger team, sell more product, and that is median annual earnings, what we can see here. That's why the people want to rank up. But most people don't achieve that. So naturally, people are looking for reasons why. And when you ask somebody in a network marketing company, they will not say, well, it's because of market saturation. The market for Arbonne is saturated. You're joining too late, unless you already have a significant following on social media and you can easily or more easy sell to an existing audience, it is highly unlikely that you will be in the upper ranks of Arbonne, or unless you've been in a network marketing company before, you had a significant team, that plus good timing, plus the understanding of social media, plus the business opportunity and the compensation plan. If you don't have these things, then it is very likely that you will fail in this company. And as we see, financially speaking, most people fail. That is because the system is built up like that. And people who don't understand this, who don't want to understand this, or who have been brainwashed, they're seeking for explanations why, which makes sense to me. Overall, the business model is crappy. Most people will fail financially speaking in network marketing. That's how the system is set up. The person speaking at the bottom, she's the exception. She's at the top rank and she wants to help somebody very likely on her team to promote to the second highest rank. And the area national vice president also means that it's more stability for her. If she has people at that rank, that also secures her rank and her income. Otherwise, she is dropping in rank. Otherwise, she's dropping in revenue as well. As we can see, is also the case for Arbonne in 2025, where the numbers are down. Compared to the year before, at the individual ranks, people make less and less money.
And that's it. So in terms of me, I used to be a personal trainer, nutritionist. I guess technically I still am, but I'm not really practicing. I only do Arbonne these days. And I used to work in like what was I going to say? Government IT. I don't even know. It's so far removed. Like that's what I went to university for, was to get a degree to be the middle person between, it was health information science. If that's, I don't know. No one even knows what that is. It's like, I used to be the communication person between doctors and computer scientists. Like I was the in-between to help them understand each other for inputting electronic health record systems.
That sounds
Why?
so awful.
Why? Like it makes no sense. And even because like that was so not aligned, I went and worked at Aritzia's head office. And I still worked in IT for Aritzia, and I like loved that because it was Aritzia and it was amazing, and like I loved the people in the office and all of that. And what was wild was even my CFO or whatever he was at the time, I forget his title, he looked at me one day and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Look at you, like you care about health and fitness." And he's like, "Look at us." He's like, "These are all like nerdy men behind screens, and then we have you, and it just doesn't make sense." And I was like, I guess you're right. Like, what am I doing behind this computer? Inputting Aritzia's like price tags, like all the price tags, you guys, and like their numbers and barcode. That's what I used to do. So I would make sure that all of their data was input to have a price tag.
Some people enjoy working with data. I mean, I also, to a certain degree, that would not be my dream job either, but you can be both. I mean, you can have that job as the basis to make money and then also be interested in health and wellness. That doesn't mean that it's the straight route to go into a network marketing company that sells overpriced supplements. You can be interested in both. I mean, why not? It could be an interesting job. It could be a secure job, well paid, good bonuses. Why not consider that? Doesn't justify somebody then going to Arbonne's like, yeah, that's what I always wanted to do.
Wild.
Wow.
It's not wild. It's just a regular job. It's an honest income. Something I believe you cannot say about Arbonne.
Yeah, makes no sense. Anyway, so that's me. So whatever you want to chat about, ask me anything.
Okay. How did your life look before you started your business versus how it looks now?
So for me, I guess you could say Arbonne, like I said, I was working corporate 9 to 5 type jobs. I had already had, I call it my like quarter life crisis, where I knew there was no way I wanted to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life and be in the corporate grind of like 9 to 5. And if I'm in BC, I was waking up, it was dark. I was getting home, it was dark. I was in a cubicle all day that I couldn't see daylight. And I was like, there's no way I'm meant to live my life like this. And so that's when I started my own personal training nutrition business. I was like, I need to do something to try to get me out of what I'm doing right now. And so I started that. And then I got pregnant. I was almost just said fell pregnant. And people in North America make fun of that, but it's like, I don't know. I think it's a UK phrase. Anyways, I got pregnant and had my first baby. I was on maternity leave. And then in that time, I got pregnant with my second baby. And I just assumed, oh my gosh, cool, two babies. I get to be on that leave for 2 years. No, you have to go back to work for 600 hours to get maternity leave a second time. So I was in this season of like, oh shit, I want to stay enjoying my maternity leave, but also like I'm about to have a second baby and I don't want to put him in daycare full time. I don't want to go back to work full time. I don't want to go back to my corporate job at all, if I'm being honest. And I was like, I want to do health and fitness, but I don't know. And like, how am I going to do that? I can't train people at 4 a.m. And then a girl reached out on Instagram about Arbonne and she was like, you're already sharing, like, for example, I'm drinking fizz in here. Before it might have been like I was drinking pre workout or I was drinking protein. And I was showing this type of stuff in my stories anyway. Like, I was taking people through my life. And she was like, why, like, would you be open to trying Arbonne? And so we did a one-on-one. She shared an overview. I tried to ghost her for like weeks and weeks and weeks. I ended up trying the products and I was like, oh my God, they're actually kind of good. Like, she's not lying. They actually taste good. And I came from the health and fitness industry. So it's like I had tried a lot of protein, a lot of products. I used to get literally bags of samples of all these different brands and products. So it's like I had tried a lot. And I'm not kidding you when I say the vegan protein was the best vegan protein I had ever tried in my whole entire life. I was like, what is this? Like, every other protein I've been drinking tastes like dirt and the earth, and I'm like choking it down. But this one actually tastes good. And so that was my life before. And I lived in my parents' basement suite. I was making good money, but I was like, how am I going to buy a house? How am I going to move out? Like, I'm going to about to have two babies. Like, what am I going to do? Like, that was my life.
That sounds like a selfish decision, though, because her former life doesn't align with her her business prospects anymore. It is completely understandable for me that some people say, I don't want to be employed. I don't want to work for a company. I want to run my own company in order to get out of that horrible dark cubicle where the hours are long. I want to be my own boss. Makes sense. For some people, that is the solution. And then she ventured into nutrition and health. But that apparently was also too hard for her because when she had her first baby, that challenged her, which is the case if you're a mother. I mean, she wasn't a single mother at the time, I think. She is not with the father of those children anymore. But to my understanding, that father is still around or was still around when she had those babies. I reacted to her already on this channel before. And that's why I've heard that narrative already a couple of times. So you have a partner and you can build something for yourself while catering to your children. And I mean, honestly, if you are a mother and you have small children, if you're a parent and you have small children, you have to make sacrifices. That's what it is. I mean, either don't have children then, or you have to be willing to live with those changes. She says, I don't want to go back to a regular job. I don't get unemployment unless I do this or that. That is probably devastating to understand that financially. But if she runs her own company, as she says she did, in nutrition and health, that would have been a chance. She didn't have to go back to the corporate job, but she had to make changes because she was pregnant with her second child and she couldn't go back to training people as a personal trainer at 4 a.m. Then pivot, make a plan, test it out, try it out, and then change your business model if you truly run your own business. Yet again, this way to now I'm going to join an MLM is something that doesn't make a lot of sense. If she ran her own company in the health and wellness business industry, then it's also up to her to make the appropriate changes to adjust to her lifestyle, to create an income, and maybe then pivot yet again when her children are bigger, when they go to school, when she doesn't have to put them into pricey daycare. There are so many options a grown individual can consider before joining an MLM. And that is also why we hear a lot, oh, the people who are targeted the most, they're mothers and you're in your 30s. Well, I guess that's the best example because you tell your story about how you were vulnerable and financially in a difficult situation when you were a mother. Then maybe don't pitch it to mothers if you don't want that misunderstanding.
Crazy.
Before Arbonne.
Okay, on the topic of trying so many things, I grew up a competitive figure skater, which some people know, not many, but like constantly trying different proteins, greens, everything. And I stand by what you said. Like, these are the best. Greens for sure, and protein, vegan, hands down.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, because obviously there's so many products on the market now, and I just go, okay, this is where, okay, something could taste good, but like, what's the quality behind it? And something for me, like back when I was first introduced to Arbonne, I had already gone on, I call it like my hippy dippy wellness kick where like I was aware that a ton of the products on the market were giving people cancer, are causing hormone disruption, are not helpful for our health. I had seen a lot of that. And so it was like I already knew. And so I was already on that kick of like using coconut oil and like apple cider vinegar and like all these like single ingredient products. But what I found was like, okay, I can use these, but they don't always smell very good. I don't really love the texture of my hair washing it with apple cider vinegar. I don't love that my car is covered in coconut oil in the summer when I get in after putting coconut oil all over my body. Like there were things that I was like, okay, I can be all organic and like, you know, single ingredient, but I was like, the textures aren't amazing. And I was at a point where I was like, okay, do I just like give it up and go back to Olay, like that shiny lotion and just get cancer? Like it's annoying to do this. And so when Arbonne was introduced, I was like, I actually love that everything I care about in terms of it being like following the European standard, using clean ingredients. I was like, I already care about this stuff. And now it's a one-stop shop where I don't need to go look at every single ingredient label, trying to figure out like, oh, is this toothpaste clean? Are they greenwashing? Are they lying? What is this ingredient? Like I was like, this is so annoying to go spend my time doing this. And so when I
It's
found Arbonne, I was
overwhelming
like, this makes
thinking
my
about
life
it
so much
too.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
So overwhelming.
Unfortunately, there is no link, or so far they haven't mentioned any sources or any resources where you could independently check those claims. I would also be very careful to claim that if you rub Olay on your face, you will get cancer. Does that mean that everybody in Arbonne is cancer-free? Because yes, there are products that can cause cancer, but it's also a genetic disposition. So everybody in Arbonne is cancer-free because they switched out all of their products and they use hair care and skincare and supplements from Arbonne because they are truly clean, a buzzword. They're organic, and you don't need to question the company because Arbonne is really one of the good companies. Be very careful with these claims because Olay can say, hey, I'm going to sue your ass because you claim that you rubbing Olay all over your face means that you will get cancer. I personally also tend to not trust network marketers who try to push the products, announce that as life-changing, as clean, the best products ever, the vegan product, the protein powder, the greens, an absolute not necessity. Nobody in the world needs greens, but of course they're the best of the best. Coming from the salesperson in the company, independently contracted, that wants to sell you those products. I always find that hard to believe because these are not independent third-party people. They benefit if you purchase the products from them. They get a commission. And of course, also, it's more impactful if the business opportunity they offer predominantly is based on good products and incentivizes people to join their team. I don't trust these kind of claims.
So I was like, this is so much easier to be able to have a one-stop shop where I love the nutrition. I can use their makeup. I can use their hair care. I can use their skincare. Best.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If those are facts, then maybe also link the resources. That would be helpful. The resources that show that Arbonne is truly superior to other companies in that field or to products in that field. But we don't ever see that.
Okay, should we talk a little bit about the business, what the business is, how it can literally fit into any lifestyle? And like,
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be
parts
cool
of
for
it?
you to share from a person who's like working full time, started your own business. Like I feel like you're so the position that I was when I started. So it's kind of cool. Um, you hopefully you don't just like fall pregnant with two babies if that's not what you're looking for this
Dear
year.
Lord.
But
She's not running her own business, though. In that sense, she's in a similar situation or in the same situation I am in. I have a full-time job and I do YouTube. YouTube, as an independently contracted provider for YouTube. So you could say our setup is pretty much the same. I would never say I run my own business because I do YouTube. I have other streams of income that might also include me running my own businesses. But doing YouTube, for example, that's not it. It just means you're independently contracted, just like she is independently contracted for Arbonne. She's not running her own business. She's selling products in the business opportunity for Arbonne, a company that is run by people that is not her. So she's not running her own business. But of course, it sounds nicer than saying the truth here.
you hopefully you don't just like fall pregnant with two babies if that's not what you're looking for this
Dear
year.
Lord.
But
No.
like that's happened to me. Anyways, so yeah, in terms of wait, what did you just ask me? Like, oh, how it fits in your life.
Yeah,
So for me,
that's for
obviously,
everyone.
different season of my life. Like I had just had a baby, but I would say if you don't have kids, you have literally no excuse because it's like you have downtime and you don't have someone like needing from you 24/7. So you're able to build this really like I was able to build it. Let's say the babies are sitting on my lap and I'm doing a phone call, or I'm on a walk and I'm doing a call, or I'm driving and I'm doing a call, or I'm tuning into team calls while I'm washing the dishes. Like I multitask my way through this whole entire business. Like I built it through doing two things at once all the time.
So she was willing to go through that stressful time with a baby at home and a newborn at home. She was willing to multitask and also be on the phone while driving, of course. She's an Arbonne, but she was not willing to do that for her own business or during an employment job. I mean, if she were employed, she would have to have daycare. She could have asked to work remotely. I'm not sure if that would have been an option, but if she were to run her own company, she could have done all of that for her own health and wellness business. But she was not willing to do that for that business, but she was willing to do that for Arbonne, which is not her business. That's weird.
So I don't know if that's helpful, but it's like if you work full time, for example, you could easily like on your lunch break, you fit in your Arbonne stuff. In between when you're on the toilet, you're sending a message. In the morning, you quickly post your greens or like you message someone and you're in conversation with a coworker that's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And you hand them a fizz. Like it is meant to be built alongside your life, not you're starting another job that's going to take you 8 hours a day. That is 100% not how Arbonne's meant to be
Gives
built.
you more
That sounds so appealing. Hey, I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm, doing the business. I also want to do business with you. Would you be interested in purchasing Arbonne greens from me? Lovely.
time. It doesn't take time away from you.
Yes. It's like it's the art of the multitask. So like even for me, I was talking to a girl 2 days ago. Um, she's a hairstylist. And I was like, you're not adding an extra job. You're literally just like in conversation when it makes sense. You're making a recommendation. And like your Arbonne business will grow alongside what you're doing. It's not like you're gonna clock out of hairdressing and now go sit down and work your Arbonne business for 8 hours. Like that's not how this is meant to
No.
be.
It means that you're adding another workflow to something that hopefully will become an income stream, and you will have to spend significant time if you want to build Arbonne, as in recruit people and sell the products. They don't sell themselves. You don't just share hair products. Also, when you work in that field, when you have a salon, it's an extra workflow that will demand a lot of time from you if you really want to try and do this as a business.
So for you working full time, like how have you been able to merge the two?
It's just in like my little pockets of time. Like I work full time. Monday to Friday is typically my schedule, some weekends, and then I'm also on call. Plus, I have my spray tan business. So every day in the evening, typically when I'm not on call at the hospital, I'm doing spray tans, which is like
Mm-hmm.
hands on. I'm not on my phone. I'm not talking, like texting people, right? So it's kind of just like my little pockets of time, but it's held me so accountable because when I started my business, I didn't realize the personal growth that I'd gained from this.
Mm-hmm.
So with like our weekly Zoom calls, which most of the time aren't even Arbonne related, like it's a
No.
lot of mindset, personal growth stuff. That's like the time for me when I get to fill my cup. So it's like I'm listening to this call, essentially a podcast. A lot of the time is what it's like.
So, what I'm hearing is besides the hour I have to work for my regular job, all the pockets of my time, they're pretty much reserved for doing Arbonne. And then I also spend the time that I reserve for Arbonne on nonsensical stuff that doesn't even help me to sell and to recruit, but it's brainwashing sessions. That doesn't sound like a smart business decision. Working in the pockets of your time just means you work 24/7. Regular job plus Arbonne. And you have to do it when you don't work for the one job that actually pays for your livelihood, because at that rank with a 9,300 bucks, that is not an income that can sustain a person for an entire year living in Canada. 24/7, that's pretty much what she has to work because she has a corporate job and then she tries to do Arbonne. That doesn't sound appealing. And the full-time job pays her. Arbonne might not. She might lose money because of Arbonne, yet she spends a lot of time and money on trying to run this as a business.
While I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking, people at work like, oh, I'm tired last night. Here, try this fizz. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to implement, and people are using these things every single day. It's not products that we're adding, it's just healthy swaps that we're making.
Do you use our shampoo and conditioner?
I do.
And do you like it?
I do.
It lasts so long too.
You need like literally this much. I used to
Yeah.
be the kid that would like cup of conditioner on my hair, and now it's like, wow, conditioner bottles last a long time.
Well, it's because here's the thing, like I was just away and the products that they had in the hotel were crap. And it's like you need a whole bottle of conditioner when it doesn't actually absorb. Like there's all these additives in it, so it's
No, it's really not. There are also conditioners that don't work like this. You don't have to purchase MLM products so that you can use little product. The hotel shampoos and conditioners, they are not high quality, but you have to take your own ones. I don't do that myself. I always just maneuvered through it. Now, granted, I don't really care much about my hair. What it looks like, I don't put a lot of effort into this. I have it up in a bun or I have it braided anyway, but I like how it feels when it's nice and smooth and soft. And I have a lot of good products at home. I just choose to not take them with me when I stay at hotels. I book staycations in Berlin as well regularly, and the hotel products are not great. That's true. I also filmed a video, that's the first video on my Christina Travels channel. Cannot even say the word properly. The Christina Travels channel. It was about the 25 hours hotel in Berlin. And that was the exact issue, which is typical for hotels. I will link it up here if that is of interest to you. The product smelled nice. The shampoo left my hair rather dry though, and they didn't have a conditioner. That's something you need to expect from hotel stays. You know what? If your products from Arbonne are that great, or you have your own products and hair care is so important to you, then you need to take your own products with you. Because if those products are filled with chemicals and they might cause cancer and they have all of those downsides, then maybe you should travel with your own equipment all the time. Which makes it harder for me to believe that she truly thinks that all of those other products that are not Arbonne related that you can get in hotels, that they will pretty much leave you with cancer after you've left that hotel stay. If you're that paranoid about using products in your life, you should pick and choose the products you use carefully and then travel with them. If you stay at a hotel, you take the products with you. You don't just leave it to chance what they have at the hotel. I'm sorry. Once again, holes in that story. I don't believe those original claims that you made.
not actually working. Where I'm like with our shampoo conditioner, like you said, you barely need any. You lather it up, and then the conditioner you barely need any, and your ends are hydrated. Like it's
Yeah.
our stuff is so good, and I feel like that's another part is the quality of them. You don't need a lot. So even with like our skincare or our makeup, a little goes a long way. And other products, it's like you need more.
Then why do you travel without them? Honest question. If you're that interested in the products and they're so superior and you only need a little amount, why not fill those in little bottles and take them with you? Problem solved. Solved. Excuse me. I don't get that.
Because it doesn't work very good. So you're going through it faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have for me?
Let's see. What is the most common regret that you hear from people once they actually do start?
I feel like most people outside of Arbonne, they see Arbonne people and they're like, oh God, she's doing Arbonne. Like, oh, look at her with her fizz or her. It looks very meaningless, maybe, and like surface level. And then once people get inside, in terms of like they come to an event or they're on our calls or they jump in or they try the products, they're like, oh, like I get it now. Because either the products changed their life.
Do you get it now? Because the people probably roll their eyes because of comments like the one we've heard before. If you had a bad sleep at night and then you show up at work and then somebody says, "Oh, you didn't sleep well? Here's a fizz. Why don't you try it?" Because you want to sell people something. And that's why very likely people roll their eyes, because people don't want to be sold to 24/7, especially when they're at work, which is supposed to be a safe place. But then there's an Arbonne hun who needs to shill her fizz to make an additional income because she wants to rank up to the regional vice president level. Maybe that's why people roll their eyes.
The business calls or the relationships change their life. They actually feel supported, connected, loved on. It expands their mind to think of life in such a different way that I feel like when you're on the outside, you can't see that part. So it looks very like, oh my God, drinking our fizz. Oh my God, love our greens. Like it looks like, okay, I don't get it. Like, and then when people are like, oh my God, I started Arbonne and it changed my life. you're like, how though? And then when you're actually in the room, you end up, it's the feeling that you get that is so expansive, because you don't get that feeling in regular life. Like
No.
for most people, Arbonne's the first place they come where they feel deeply connected, deeply supported, deeply seen, where their voice is heard, where their dreams matter, where they're able to be in front of people. And let's say you start crying and we're like supportive of that. Other places, you're like, oh my God, sorry, I'm so embarrassed, I'm crying. Normal workplaces have no space for that.
What? Have you ever had a colleague who cried in front of you and you said, oh, excuse me, I don't have time for that? Could you leave? Could you take your tears to the barn and go outside? Hello, that has to do with being a human being and human dignity, comforting a colleague or giving that colleague space, caring for that individual. That is not a claim exclusive to Arbonne. What she describes here sounds like a cult. You cannot see it from the outside. You have to be in the room so that we can get our hands in your mind, and then we will tell you you can never leave, because this is what you add. Everything is deeply, everything is life-changing, and we're going to see you when you cry. It's a cult.
So it's like we create this amazing space for women mostly. Of course, men can do this too, but it's a lot of women. And I feel like that can't be seen through a Instagram story. And so the biggest regret I would say is like not necessarily a regret, but I think people's misconceptions before and all the crap they may have talked, or the judgments they may have had, or the assumption about it because they have not so great experiences with other network marketing companies. They come in and they're like, dang, I was kind of a jerk. Like things I used to say, like, and then you feel like kind of an idiot because now you're like, I think I want to do this. Like, I love this. Or you're like, Arbonne's amazing. Like, we used to be like, should we get Arbonne tattoos? Like, this is the best thing. And I don't have a single tattoo. And it was like, this is the best thing that I've ever been a part of. And
It's not helpful for what she tries to do here. You couldn't see it before. Now we've been enlightened once we were in the room, and we might also get Arbonne tattoos. It's a cult. It has to do with pre-brainwash and post-brainwash. And yes, I do believe network marketing companies are a cult. They act like ones, for sure. They act like cults. Exhibit A.
and um yeah, I feel like for a lot of people, they don't get that in their everyday life. And so when they come in, they're like, wow, I totally had misconceptions. I didn't understand. I assumed these products were going to be garbage because maybe they've had experiences in other places.
That's one of those claims also in network marketing companies and in cults. You didn't understand it before you joined, but now you're enlightened and you're a part of the small group of people who truly understand it. Now you're smarter than others, and others cannot tell you anything about how horrible Arbonne is. Yet again, that's a brainwashing tactic.
And then they try the products, like it literally changes their life. And for some people, they're so like this. And I was that way for 9 months that when you try it, you're kind of like, oh shit, it's actually good. You like hope it's going to be shitty.
Yeah.
And then when it's good, then you're like, dang, I really have no excuses. Yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely
Yeah.
I remember telling my best friend who I was using the products, and she's like, just do it. And I was like, respectfully, I support you, but heck no,
Not for
it's
me.
not for me. But I am a completely different person. I started in November, and that's not long. It's wild.
Yeah. So for you, I mean, for for me, obviously, over the 7 years, it's like I don't live in my parents' basement suite anymore. I've been able to build a really amazing business. I got to move to California. Like I've had the freedom to travel and go wherever I want and move to the States if I feel like it or come back. I built my kids a school because I don't want them in the traditional school setting. I started a farm. Like I've done so many cool, amazing things because of the flexibility of this business that I can literally work it from anywhere, but also the financial, you can make as much money as you want here, essentially. So it's like you could start this business and be like, okay, I love our protein. And like, if I share it with people and my protein is covered, amazing. And people are happy with that. Other people come in and they want to fully replace their income or build this to like CEO level and above, like a business, right? Where you're making $25,000 a month up and up. There's no cap. So the range of how much money you can make is really big, and it goes depending on what you want to make of it. Why I think this matters so much is because in the world we're living right now, a traditional job that used to be well paying is not enough anymore. Like people are struggling. Even now, you could make 100 grand a year, and like I don't know how people are surviving. Like it's actually hard. Where back, you know, when I went to school, even for university, it was like, if I can make 100 grand a year, amazing. Now, I don't even know how long ago was that, like 10 years, 12 years.
If you're able to make 100,000 a year, you will not just survive, you have a pretty good life. You might need to adjust your expectations. So that's a really entitled thing to say. But how come then, if you define how much money you make, that there is no cap, that Arbonne pretty much caps the income? I mean, if we take a look at the US income disclosure statement, they're in Canada, I'm taking a look at the US one at the moment, that the person who made the most money in 2025 was at the national vice president's rank and made $313,539. Why did that person decide to stop there? No, I don't want to make 1 million. I just want to make 300,000 because those numbers don't look good. When I reacted to Arbonne's income disclosure statement and I made the comparison to 24, I said that Arbonne seems to be like a more stable network marketing company when I compare this to Monat. I don't know if the Arbonne video will yet be out about that comparison, but the Monat one for sure is, because with Monat we see a rapid decline. With Arbonne we also see a decline, but it is slower. So it looks like the company is not dissolving as quickly as Monat is. Nonetheless, the top person in a network marketing company made $313,000. Not 500, not 900, not 1 million, not 1.5 million, just $300,013. The top person in the company. That means, yes, the range might be significant within Arbonne, as is typical for network marketing companies. Most people at the lower ranks, hardly anybody at the top ranks. But why cap it at that amount? If you could make so much more, because at least in other MLMs, the top people, while that is just a handful of people who are holding on to this business opportunity, and the big teams they hold on to these for life, they're at least able to make more money. Now, 300,000 in 1 year is still a significant amount of money, and it is before taxes, it is before expenses. So depending on where you live, you might end up with 150,000 in the end. If you have smart investment, that will always carry you a long way. But that is not a lot of money. That is the top person in Arbonne in 2025. And that person made significantly less than they did, for example, at least the tippity top people in the dying MLM that is called Monat. So overall, the peaks are not as peaky. And I ask the question again, why would you stop yourself at that number? Why not make 500,000? Why not make it a nice, easy milestone number? Let's do the 1 million. Why do you decide to cut yourself off at 300,000? Maybe because you don't decide it. Maybe your downline decides it. Maybe the compensation plan decides it. Maybe, I don't know, world economy actually participates in that decision as well.
It's like, that's not enough. Like you can't live a nice, good life. And it depends where you live, I guess. I'm in BC. So it's like, you're not really getting by with 100 grand a year. And so you need something that can either help supplement your income or replace it altogether. And you can go to earnings.arbonne.com for what's typical. But most people need to make more money. And this is an option that's flexible, that you can work around your life, your schedule, and what you're already doing in order to generate that.
And if you take a look at earnings.arbonne, you will see that none of the claims she's made here, they're not typical. None of them are typical. Most people at the lowest rank lose money.
Yeah, which is really amazing. So for you, in terms of like your life from November till now, what do you feel like your biggest shifts are that you're noticing within yourself?
A lot. On this topic, though, I feel like this is wild to even think about and say out loud. I am a 24-year-old who has maxed out my pay scale at my job that I went to school for. So my value, I am told my value is cut off here. This is what you're worth at your job.
Forever.
Forever.
Till you're 65. For your pension and benefits. And you better stay for that safety.
Yeah. You have to work this many years doing this, exactly what you're doing. You're never going to make more money, right? That is wild.
That is so horrifying, and it actually makes me mad how many people were convinced to live their life like that was the best way. And obviously life has changed so much since like our grandparents to our parents to us. But I'm just like, man, people like committed their entire lives to these jobs that like, I mean, if someone's happy, then fine. But I think for most people, they're not. They don't actually get to live a life. They're in a loop of every day and every week doing the exact same thing
Autopilot.
to pay your bills, to be able to just eat and live and sleep and go to work. And it's like, if that's enough for someone, amazing.
But that's essentially what you do in Arbonne as well. I mean, it's a very black and white picture. People have to work to make an income, they have to spend time to do that. So does she. So you eat and sleep, and then you work. In Arbonne, you don't have to do it in a cubicle, but that is also pretty much your lifestyle. That is life. People need to make an income, and when they have children, they have to be more responsible. To claim, though, that Arbonne is the better opportunity when all of the data released by Arbonne themselves shows that is not, is negligent. So this outrage and this outburst about a legitimate income, a legitimate job that might not pay you as much as you want to or as much as you deserve, or an instability that might come up as we go along as well. In the United States, I know people can be let go from one day to another, but you have more stability than you do being in Arbonne. I can only judge that from the German perspective, but you cannot just be let go from one day to another. You have a period of time during which you can leave. That protects you as the employee, but that also protects your employer. Upon mutual agreement, that span of time can pretty much be shortened, and you're getting compensated for that. So let's say you're getting laid off, you get a compensation for that. And most companies are gracious enough that they will let you go in time as well, and they don't extend that into oblivion. Now, when you're getting fired because you were negligent, that is a different story. When you have a corporate job here, for example, you have healthcare, you have social securities, you have the ability to get regularly paid and bonuses, and you can do with that money however you want to structure your future. You might not get paid as much as you want to, but you have more security than you do in other jobs. Whereas in Arbonne, you only pay into an opportunity where you might or might not benefit in the end. But you have zero security and you have a lot more expenses, not just running Arbonne, but if you're not employed or if you don't have a partner who is employed and you can benefit with that partner's employment benefits, you don't have a social security, you don't have health insurance, you have to pay into that yourself. So also more expenses. But as opposed to people who truly run their own businesses, you don't run your own business. So you have none of the benefits of running your own business, none of the control you have of running your own business, but you also have none of the security that still exists if you are employed. You get the short end of the stick, but here are people in Arbonne who need you on their team in the company to benefit off of you, and that's why we hear these kind of things. And they're also brainwashed because you have to see it from the inside as they've admitted, and then you're enlightened. You cannot see it from the outside. At least that's my personal interpretation of what we've heard so far.
Then you probably won't be interested in this. But it's like, if you have a pull for more, you need to do something different.
So if you don't struggle, if you're not vulnerable, MLMs and Arbonne might not be for you. Yet again, very outing.
So it's like, okay, how much would you make a year then at maxed out in the job that you're in?
Oh gosh. Varies from like 70 to 90.
Okay. And which, like, that sounds like great money, but it's like,
Yeah.
can you buy a house with that? Like, are you traveling? Like, are you living the life that you want? Like, what's the life, when you think of your dream life, what do you want to do?
That is, I have always had a pull for more. Always.
Just because you have a pull for more doesn't mean that you will get more. 70 to 90. Now, she speaks about Canadian dollars if she's in Canada. When we yet again take a look at the income disclosure statement from the US in 2025, and we take a look at the regional vice presidents, that's the rank she wants to rank up to. She is currently at the area manager's rank. They don't make 70 to 80 or 90,000 a year. You have to be at the top rank. And even there is variation. Some make less than 70,000. So she is aiming at something that makes her less money than what she could max out in her current job. That doesn't make logically any sense to me.
I have always had a pull for more. Always. My parents are like, she's the wild one. But I want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live somewhere hot. Like
Yeah.
I am a traveler and I haven't got to travel as much recently because of the world. Like, I can't afford to be a single person, pay all of my bills, work, and then also get the time off, being told you aren't allowed to take time off to go do what makes you happy in life.
Of course, you're allowed to take time off. Canada also has PTO. I work for an international company, and colleagues are also they're also operating out of Canada. So I know people from the Canada branch there as well. They also have PTO. If you don't make enough money to travel a lot to hot climates, then travel locally. Figure it out. Figure out other destinations that you might find appealing. I just find this very entitled from a 24-year-old who is dreaming about things that she can currently not afford. And she steps into the Arbonne trap where she's caught at a rank where people make $9,000 on average at that rank in the hopes that she might rank up, to end up at a rank that doesn't pay her more than what she would get paid if she maxed out her regular job. Once again, that's delusional, but that's what brainwashing does to you, because if you were to take a look at the actual numbers, you would see, actually, it's not that great. If I want to have the opportunity to make a shit ton of money, I should join not Arbonne, but this or that MLM. Take a look at the income disclosure statements. Now, I'm not promoting that. I'm not encouraging that, but just saying it doesn't make any sense to then join Arbonne per their own data.
No, I'm so glad the younger generation is getting this, because like I remember thinking like, what? Like I get 14 days out of 365
That you're
to
allowed
enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Like this should make you want to literally puke. And like that's what we were sold is like the way.
Yeah. And a lot of them,
literally.
It's wild. I do, like, I'm on.
Say wild one more time. I challenge you to. Maybe I should do a wild counter, because that's the only thing they can use to describe that it's wild. It's a wild opportunity. I guess this is a wild call.
Like, I'm on call in the evenings at the hospital. So a lot of what I was do would bank my time so I could use that time to take days off. So what I'm doing is working the day,
Double.
8 hours, and then the night, so I can go do what makes me happy. It's crazy.
It's wild.
Anyway, there's other ways you can start businesses. You can build a life of freedom. You could start network marketing. There are so many options, and this is a difference.
There are so many options what you could do if you don't want to have an employment job. It doesn't have to be an MLM. Wild, I know.
Too, of like when I started 7 years ago versus now, is because of the internet and social media. Like there are so many options to make money online, go build a business, all the things. And what I'll say why I appreciate network marketing so much is it's quite the weight that's on you is so minimal. So like in a traditional business, let's say if it's a product-based business or a service-based business or whatever it is, if you own it yourself, like you're paying for the website, you're paying for the issues that happen, you're paying for the customer service, you're paying for the assistance that you need, you're paying advertisements, you're paying so many different things to get your business off the ground, so many different employees. For us, all we do is that's all covered by Arbonne. All we need to do is use the products, love the products, share them with other people, let people know this business, model exists. And that's it. Like we're just the spokespeople that go out with really no stress on our back other than like sharing this with other people. So for me, I've watched a lot of people build businesses, do other things. I've even done other things. And I'm like, this is the most beautiful option to create the least amount of stress in your life with the least amount of overhead to make as much money as you want that makes you happy because you're fully in control of how big you built this business. And I'm like, if you're a woman, like this is so epic because you're able to build it around your cycle, your schedule, how you're feeling, if you feel like being on camera, if you don't, if you want to be in bed, you can text and build your business. Like it's so flexible. Yeah, it's just the best. But okay.
And it also shows that you're not running your own business because you're not in charge of anything. That's why you're so relaxed. Although she said before she was pretty much working 24/7 when she had small children, while she was nursing her children, while she was driving, she was on the phone, she was building her business. Which one is it? Are you relaxed or do you work that much? You're not running your own business. You have no control over the things you sell, over the prices, over the shipment routes, no control whatsoever. You have to follow what Arbonne gives you. They have a compensation plan. You have to follow that. If you don't follow that, you will drop in rank. You will not get paid. You're really getting the short end of the stick. And the income disclosure statement, yet again, it shows that most people are not able to be financially successful in Arbonne. How great of a business opportunity can this then truly be? I guess you can only see it from the inside. You can hope that you're being brainwashed so that you can pretend that the meager income you make is good. That's how I would interpret it.
You finish off with just like anything about you changing from like November till now, how your life has changed, how you've changed, and then now you going region and like what that looks like and means for you. And in terms of can this be done with any products, or does it have to be on a list that Arbonne can support? So it could be done with any products, but like if you're going to start a network marketing business with Arbonne, it's going to be Arbonne products specifically. But you could, there's lots of other companies, like, so it's, I always say find the company that works best for you, that aligns with you, and that feels the best internally, that you feel like you can represent for a really long time. Whoa, my throat's getting all weird. I was introduced to 2 other network marketing companies before I started Arbonne, and nothing against those companies, but like what they stood for just didn't align with me. Not that it's bad or wrong. It was just like, this isn't something that I think I could stand behind long term. Where Arbonne was like, okay, if I want to have a hair health journey, if I use makeup every day, if I like clean products on my skin, if I like nutrition products, like there were so many different elements that no matter what, there was going to be products I knew I'd be using every day regardless. And that felt good. And what the company stood for and why they started also felt good to my soul. Yeah, there's other companies where I'm like, I wouldn't feel good representing that.
What she just described pretty much sounds like every other network marketing company, because their product palette that merges. It looks very, very similar. Most of them have now makeup, skincare if geared towards women specifically, hair care, clean products, and also some health and wellness products. They're all getting more and more similar. So you're in different MLMs, but you're trying to sell very similar products, which is additional market saturation, not just within your company in Arbonne, but also with others.
Should we touch on the standards and the quality of?
Well, I mean, B Corp certified, like vegan, non-toxic, cruelty-free. They follow the European standard. They do everything ethically, sustainably, consciously, which matters to me. And they're not harming the planet. And I think that's like they're so conscious of how they source ingredients and how they take care of their employees that I can feel good representing the company.
Arbonne harms the planet. Every company that mass produces, and I would let Arbonne fall under that category as well, because it's not just a teeny tiny company, it's actually a corporate entity that works across continents. They're alive in a lot of countries. They're also therefore harming the country. Sorry, the world, not just the country. They're harming the world as well. Everything mass production harms the world.
Yeah. Share about you, just so we don't go
Okay.
way too long. Yeah.
Okay. I started in November. I signed up. I was going away on a trip. I was like, I'll talk to you on Monday about it. Blah, blah, blah. And then realized, oh, I can promote it this month, but I have a week to do it. So I did it.
Yeah.
It's actually when you start, there's everything. This is what you need to do. This is how you do it. You can do it this way, this way, this way. I'll meet you where you're at. I'll help you. And like with Kirsten and Katie, like incredible upline. So I started it and I hit DM the first promotion, first level out of 4 in 8 days.
Yeah.
And
Same.
then I just rode that.
That's kind of what I did. So I love that.
Yeah. And then I kind of just rode that, learning. I didn't know a thing in the first week, except for the fact that I love the products because I already had used them. And then I kind of just learned as I earned, and sharing about it and doing practice calls, understanding the business. And then February, I earned, or Christmas, January 1st, I earned the incentive trip to Banff with Kirsten, Holly, Aslan, and Jill.
Yeah.
That changed my vision. Just being surrounded by people that were all essentially more successful than me. They'd been in it way longer than me. Just wow. Like literally wow. I was like, whoa, I can do this. These are all very successful people, but at one point they were where I am, right? Like, it's not like they they did the work, and they like, it's possible, normal people doing the work. So then I decided mid-February that I was like, I'm going for AM. So
Area.
I had area.
Second of 4 levels.
Yes, thank you. I decided that I was going to do it, and essentially it's just by helping other people make healthy swaps, live healthier, improve their health and wellness. Like, it's like that, and then also helping people start the business, whether they wanted it for the products or financial or time freedom, whatever it is. Anyways, close that out the end of February. And then now we're in March. You have to do it over 2 months. So I qualified, and then I had to promote the second month, which is March. And I did it by the 12th.
Yeah. I love it.
Crazy. So good, though.
Yeah.
They're mixing up the ranks, and I think they're doing that on purpose. I've seen that in other MLMs as well. I've seen that in Monat as well. Arbonne has just 5 ranks. But let's also mention maybe all of the 5 ranks. The first rank is always the entry-level rank. You join, you are at that rank. The consultant rank is your first rank, and it is also the most popular in Arbonne, so let's not pretend this one doesn't exist. Because she wasn't at the second rank, at the area manager's rank, that is the 3rd rank, and she's now trying to promote to the 4th rank, to the 2nd highest rank in the company. She is not there. When she says she goes regional, means she tries to get to that higher rank by selling more and by recruiting more people. But let's not omit the 1st rank, because it is the most popular one in all MLMs. 81.7% of people are at that rank. Let's not just exclude that one because it's inconvenient. Most people are at that rank. The rest is able to rank up, but most people, the far, far vast majority in Arbonne, is not able to rank up.
And now you're going region.
And now I'm going region, which is the 3rd of 4 levels.
And what does that look like? Like, if you become a regional vice president, what does that change for your life?
A lot. I feel like it's going to give me the freedom to live for me, not have to wake up and work in a hospital building Monday to Friday plus on call. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy my job and what I get to do for people and helping people, but it is very draining. And it's not a forever, it doesn't fill my cup as much as Made for More. Anyways, so I get to step back a little bit from my hospital job. I get to continue to do my spray tanning, which I freaking love, and I get to travel more because I love getting to experience other cultures.
Yeah.
Not just like, I love getting to go sit on a beach all inclusive, but I really like getting to the nitty gritty of cultures and like experiencing their ways of life and like why. But basically, it's going to help me financially. It's going to help me with my time. I'm going to pay off all of my student debts. That is just like, I've been working on it, but I'm not seeing like it's never ending because there's always something else. And I maxed out at my pay scale. So it's like, I'm not going to ever be making more, right? It's crazy. And I've always
like, how do you get ahead?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so
I
much.
love that.
There's so many things. I can go on about it.
Like, it's so fun. And going to the 2nd level, so like, obviously, again, you guys can check earnings.arbonne.com for what's typical, but getting to the 2nd level in just a few months is, I feel like when you go area manager, you're halfway through the comp plan, you see so much change in your life. You're making over $1,000 a month. Like, that's super helpful in itself. You make like 1,000 to 5,000. You going region gives you access to like 5,000 to 15,000 a month. And so it just allows you to start making way more money, which gives you options. And even if you love your job, like, you don't have to hate your job. You could love your job, but it's like, could extra money help you? Could you just use products, and if you fall in love, share them with other people? Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, you're changing careers. And I think sometimes people feel that they're like, but I don't mind what I do. And I'm like, you can still do this alongside it and be fulfilled through the things that we do in person, or the groups, or the calls, or the learning, or the products. Like, there's so much you can get out of this and still do what you love, if you love what you do.
Then why join Arbonne if you love what you do, you make the money you want to do? Why do I need to join an MLM? I can use my personal time, also the time during my work, to be confident and happy. Why do I need to then join Arbonne? Who does this benefit? The person who doesn't want to join Arbonne, who doesn't need to join Arbonne, or the person who wants to recruit the person who doesn't want to join Arbonne?
You're not stuck in an autopilot being told that you have to do this. You get to choose. It's like giving you the free will power.
I love it. Well, I'm so excited to watch you go, Regent. She has a
Thank
couple days
you.
to close this out. It's going to be intense. Um, it is a push when you like go and you're moving quickly, but it's so epic and so fun. And I'm just so excited for you.
Thank
It's
you.
like, it's the most fun part of the business is when you're pushing to promote and it feels you're so on adrenaline and like every second counts that, oh, I just remember the feeling and it's like so fun though. Exhilarating.
Work. I keep
Stressful
getting
and
that. How are you
exhilarating all
doing?
at the
Like,
same
how are
time.
you? How are you? I'm like, I'm great. I'm so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so how many orders do you need to go, Region?
Um. Oh well.
I love that even the internet says, no, 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 this is a scam. We're not doing this. Freeze.
Kirsten, that's so funny. I didn't know if you were here, but I was thinking about you and I was like, it's exhilarating. I'm like, I know we always talk about this.
48
I don't know.
orders.
You froze. What did you say? How many orders?
48.
So epic.
So
So you're
epic.
way over halfway, which is so
Yeah.
exciting. Mm-hmm. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you have until 31st to close it out. 48 orders. You're getting so close. It's going to be so amazing. So fun.
We got this.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for watching. Yeah, and obviously if you have questions about Arbonne, message Ashley.
This was uploaded on the 29th, and she has time until the 31st to get 50 orders in to rank up. Good luck.
And chat with her about the business. Like if you're into the business, if you want to know more about the products, if you want to have a proper overview, whether it's like you're watching this off my page or you're watching this off her page, message whoever you're connected to. And if someone sends you this, message them and just have the conversation. Like I feel like most of us, we're open books. We're happy to tell you anything you need to know. So that you can decide if this is a good fit for you. Like we're not here to do any convincing. I'm like, ew, convincing is the most ickiest low vibe energy. It's like, if you want this and it's interesting to you, we're here to support you. And if it's not for you, no problem.
Ask the
Not for
question.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. Well, thanks so much for having me on. And I'm so excited
Thank
for you to
you.
close this out.
This was so good. Thanks, Carly.
Make sure you save it and post it because I want to share it.
Okay, well.
Don't lose it.
Okay, well.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I guess we're not losing it because I'm also sharing. Let's take a look if the claims apply to this call, and you can judge for yourself. A must watch. It's a repetition of things I've heard a gazillion times from one of the people on the call for sure, from network marketers in general. So this is not a must watch. This is a rags to riches story that doesn't fully work with income claims that don't work at all because the data proves that they're wrong. People trying to better their lives and very likely, unfortunately, will end up in a financially more difficult situation than before while hoping that they can achieve the goals in life they want to. Travel more, reduce the full-time corporate job that she does or the income that she makes from her full-time job, and travel more as we go along, which will very likely not happen. It's not sustainable. So even if it happens for her and she's able to rank up, she's not going to make that much money. We've seen that with the Arbonne income disclosure statement. Arbonne really is one of those companies where the people don't make as much money as you would expect from top people in the network marketing company. So a must watch? No. Life-changing opportunities. There are always those claims, but they never come through. There's never proof that that is actually the case for most people in the company. It's actually the opposite. The data shows us that it's not life-changing. And what were the comments? So good? No. And incredible. Also, no for me. Maybe I'm just a critical hater. That's why none of these claims come through for me in this call. I hope she doesn't lose a lot of money. That's what I truly hope. And I hope that she finds opportunities to finance a life she wants to live that allows her also to travel. You don't have to join an MLM to travel. You can easier finance travel yourself rather than work towards an incentive trip and a goal where you have to put a lot of time and effort and money into it as well. I'm not saying that that's the case here, but some people in network marketing, they pretty much purchase them being able to participate in the incentive trips because it would look weird if they were not able to attend those. Take it for what you will. Okay, that was an incredibly wild Arbonne opportunity. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Would you join Arbonne? Would you join another MLM if you really wanted to make a lot of money and that income is uncapped? Would you join Arbonne with 300,000 in a year if you're in the US? I don't know. I would join a company where the data show me that I can actually make more money. And no, I would not join an MLM. Thank you for your support. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You can hype the video, you can comment, you can share it. That helps the videos out a lot. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. The next regular upload will be Friday, 1 p.m. Central European Time. Until then, tschüss!